Hello, good evening, and welcome to the stream. Yes, the stream you weren't expecting. Or something along those lines, anyway. Yes, we are live on the Twitch and also live over on the YouTube as well. Yes, we are. So you do get the higher bitrate and screen size on YouTube versus what you get on Twitch, but that's a limitation of Twitch. It's not bandwidth, because I could definitely stream to both at that if Twitch allowed it, which they don't, but there we go. Alright, just doing a couple of social medias. It'll take but a moment. Well, we hope. Right, okay. And one of those. I get told off if I don't do this, you know. Yeah, I know you guys probably don't believe me, but people complain. I never got a notification. Why didn't you post it on wherever? And I'm like, what? They're like, well, the email from Twitch didn't come, and the YouTube one didn't come, and you know, okay, fair enough. We want to do... Yeah, we're going to do Blue Sky as well. Blue Sky, like the old place without all the bullshit. Right, okay. Do you have a link to the Facebook? Yeah, there's a Anarchy Online Facebook group. Let's go to the live screens on both. There we go. Yeah, there's... Oh dear, can I find it again? Yeah, there's two different groups on Facebook. So there's... that's quite a newish one. So there's that one. And... where's the bookmark for the other one? Yeah, and then there's that one, which is the older one with a bigger population. And then there's my little Facebook page, which is also called, surprise, surprise, Carlos 2. Yeah, there you go. Who'd have thought I'd name a Facebook page based on my shenanigans on my online name. Never mind. Right, okay. So, there's no freelancers this week, unfortunately. Raziel, welcome. And, of course, Toast on Beans. Yeah, I just saw Funcom are going to do... Oh, beer o'clock, by the way. I saw Funcom are going to do another beta stream, but they haven't said they're doing a beta weekend on the 28th of this month. So, that'll be interesting. That's for the June Awakening game, if you're interested. Because it was quite a restricted area for most people on that beta weekend. I think the influencers got full access to the the main beta, because they were in areas you couldn't get to, flying ornithopters and stuff, which is cool because we wanted to see that stuff, but they weren't in the same beta server group that you know, I got into, or most people got into with the weekend beta. So it was done sort of differently. It could be that those people already had the beta keys from months and months ago. Still playing Oblivion. Yeah. It's not like I haven't played it 20 times before, but it is nice playing it with, excuse me, the remaster. That is pretty cool. But it's the same old game. The old tricks and things still work. Like you can max out sneak really, really quickly if you know how. And it is kind of glitching the game. But yeah, as soon as you get out of the sewers, which is the very beginning of the game, if you double back and go straight back to the prison and then tell the guard that you want to visit someone, there's only one prisoner in there, okay? And it's not the same dungeon you were in. So you go down there, he's stood behind bars, but you can try and pickpocket him and fail. And the guard will just stand there and watch you do it and won't do anything. And the guy who's locked in the cell just goes, go ahead, I've got nothing. And you just repeatedly keep trying to pickpocket them, and you'll get sneak up to 100 in about between 5 and 10 minutes. I remember reading about that on a news group or forum or something, you know, back when the game originally came out. I thought, no way, and then tried it. So if you're trying to do a sneak build, that is the quickest way to level up sneak. It's nuts. I mean, like, seriously nuts that works still. So the old bugs and whatnot, yep, still very much a part of the game. I've done all the guild quests now, I think. Which is what I did when I originally played it. Steam will tell me, won't it? Yeah, I've done Fighters Guild, done the Mages Guild, done the Thieves Guild, and the Assassins Guild, the Black Hand or whatever. Where do I see my own achievements? It's over here, isn't it? Yeah, murder, Dark Brotherhood, destroyed the Great Gate, delivered a... Yeah, so I've done quite a lot. Done the arena, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm just working my way through the game. It was a bit different playing those games versus doing a let's play or something like that, you know. I take a very different approach to playing on my own. I'm sort of like, right, completionist run, you know. So with the Dune Awakening, apparently that's got tons of side quests and like a big long main quest. So I really want to get that done. Get some best gear I can possibly get. And, you know, do all the contracts and quests and whatever it's got. And then build a massive, big, snazzy base of some kind. That's kind of what I'm wanting to do with that game. But we'll see. We'll see. No freelancers this week, is there? If I remember correctly. Not seeing the heralds anywhere. No. I think we checked on Monday, didn't we? They weren't up. Oh well. Alright, we've got a salvage mission. Okay. So run round and find the object in the mission, Jobby. Yeah, I had a great time with the beta. I died a lot, but I usually do in survival type games because my survival instincts get overrun by my curiosity. Can I outrun a sandworm if it's on me on the bike? Turns out, no, you can't. It's still quicker than the bike. And oh, I forgot to take all my gear off before I got perma-killed or whatever by the sandworm. You know, silly crap like that. That's me. Also, watching other people. Oh, there's a nice handy-dandy run. Also, I did see a lot of other people, like the big sort of streamers, they were playing. And I saw one, he'd done a trooper. So we had this Shigawire which is essentially like a grappling hook, but a really long range one. And just watching them, their transversal around the game versus how I was having to climb up everything and find places to stop and regain stamina. I was like, no, I was doing it wrong, you know. If you were to pick an AO class today to get to 220 without the help of any alt accounts, tanking, or at a minimum, what would you pick? Well, you can't get everything at... Well, I mean, technically you can hit 220 without any of that, but you won't do the DB quest without it. You won't get any of the stuff from the bigger dungeons, you know, so it depends what your real aim is there. But having to team with people to do team-orientated things in an MMO is not sort of an exceptional thing. So, yeah. I'd probably roll Keeper, because they're very, very self-sufficient. You've seen how much I've used that Keeper to help myself out on this character. So end game, but there's no way the character would have been as good as they are without help from other players. In the way the game's designed to work, you know, you team up to get things done. Like getting the gear from the new dungeons, there's no way you can solo that stuff. You know, you can't solo the high-level subway. Nobody can. Box it, maybe. Eumenides might be a challenge to box, I don't know. But, yeah. Solo, though? You know, like a single player. Well, you can't enter unless you're in a raid group, so... yeah. Yeah, it can be like that. The game is very Euro-centric on time zones for when it's busy. You know, and so if you're in like Australian time zones, etc., yeah, it's not a good time. You know, there's far fewer active players on at that time, so I totally get that. I remember Kingster, because of course he was in Australia, and posted the iconic and ironic satirical post, "Don't be lonely anymore. Come and join my guild in my time zone. If you're in my time zone, join my guild so I have people to play with," was basically the post. And it was kind of half a joke, but it ended up being this, I don't know, 33-page forum thing. It went on forever. It was funny. Yeah, what was it? Kingster, don't be lonely anymore. It's probably still there. Oop. Oh God, it doesn't know. Google can't find it. Spell Anarchy right, you might have half a chance. Anarchy online. Yeah, that was it. That's the old Kingster, unimpressive. Hi, I'm reclaiming this thread as I still get lots of the... Oh, this is the remake. Because they changed the forums, didn't they? Don't be lonely anymore. Is that the original thread? Oh no, it's just his signature back to this one. Yeah, it was from 2009, so this is like 4 years later, but yeah, that just went on and 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 on forever. Yeah, it's gonna. I think "Don't Be Lonely Anymore" was in his signature, so yeah, it's confused the snot out of Google. Obviously, yeah, that original thread, if I dug hard enough, I could probably find it, but it went on for months and months with people responding to it and not getting it. Some people got the joke and just joined in, and other people didn't quite get the joke, and yeah, it was pretty funny. Yeah, the Aussie time zone, you know, for Europe is middle of the night. You know, the small hours of the evening or the morning. You know, so 3 and 5, between 3 and 8 a.m. You know, pretty much everyone in Europe, unless they're working late, is in bed. You know, so yeah. You know, too late for most people, Europeans and the like, to be awake, and so on and so forth. So yeah. What we got? We got 7 minutes and we got 28 minutes. We just missed a kill. Oh well. Can't be helped. We got about 15 minutes for a respawn, but that's okay. Can try and find that thread. It only pulls up that old one. I wonder. Yeah, so it was on the forums before the one it links to. So when did I'm trying to remember now, because we're going back, you know, over a decade, trying to remember when things changed. Yeah, Dark Willow was El Presidente at the time. She was really good as well. She's a really good president, really good leader. Time of the Damned. Sounds hardcore, yeah. You can say this thread went on and on and on and on. How many pages? Oh my god. And this wasn't the first one, so... Last page, page 7. Oh yeah, there's from me. Happy New Year from Storm. Recruitment is also open. There you go. Yeah, that was before the forums changed. There you go. So we're really going back in time there. There was an iteration of the forums. That was the last proper forums before the new kind of rubbishy ones. And before those older ones, there was another one which was even older than that, which ran for the longest time. And before that, there was the orange and yellow forums, which were the original ones. Yeah, the newer forums are just the combined forums for all Funcom games. The original one got hacked. I don't know if it got hacked. I think the software that it was based upon was no longer supported or something like that. So they had to do something. You know, if you're a company, you can't just leave it like that, can you? You know. I can't remember. So you go to the old bulletin board, new AO website. The official AO has been dead for a long time, even the subreddit. New to AO, that's 2025. What's this? When was this one? 7 years ago. This is the old. Yeah, it's gone. I think actually gone. So this is the new forums, but it's shared with all the other stuff. Yeah, yeah. So long gone. It's just it's a miracle the old one's still up, but it's not a secure site. You know. Jason A. Hello, Carlos. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Thanks for dropping in. Yeah, I think it was it bulletin board software architecture that the old forums was based on was no longer safe. or the company just weren't going to update it anymore. What I have noticed as well is since social media's kind of explosion, since sort of 2007 onwards, and especially more recently, like the last sort of 8-9 years with things like Discord, a lot of forums are just dead these days. People don't ask questions on forums anymore. They go straight to the, whatever Discord is associated with it and ask there because they get a response in real time. So you can kind of understand why, But yeah, video killed the radio star all over again. Seen it so many times, in my lifetime. It's kind of nuts. It's like when the space shuttle was the newest, coolest thing. And I still think the space shuttle's cool, I still think it's way more cool than anything that's come since then. Probably not as good, but just the idea that it was a reusable spacecraft. So it could fly into space and it could land back on Earth and go back up again, multiple times. There was just something very cool about that, And it looked really cool, So, yeah, for me, I grew up with the idea of the space shuttle when I was young. Instead of, the Saturn rockets, we're going to go for, this reusable part. It was basically a very similar idea, massive rockets to get so far and then do the rest. It's not like the shuttle could have gone to the moon or something. It wasn't built in that kind of way, although there was some talk about doing that, but yeah. But the shuttle itself wouldn't have landed on the moon. They'd take a payload that could land and take off again from the moon and be recaptured by the space shuttle, which would then, find its way back to Earth. But the dream, I guess, we had as kids then was, eventually, the shuttle's going to touch down on the moon or something like that, So, yeah. When did it first launch? I can remember it happening and being quite excited about it and watching it on TV. The space shuttle. Yeah, 135 missions. Oh, look at it. That's cool. It just looked so damn cool. Yeah, so space shuttle and all its operations. It took Hubble up there and, yeah. It's an amazing thing. When was the first flight then? June 1981. Yeah, so I was 12 years old. When that took off. So you can imagine, 12-year-old Kalos going, ooh, because we'd been hearing about it years before that they were doing it and it was going to, be a thing. So, yeah. We got about 4 minutes. Is my beer going to last, or do I need another one? I think I'll manage. Yeah, you remember there was it Armageddon had and Deep Impact both had well, not the actual space shuttle in it, but it had like a Hollywood more modern version of it or something. But yeah, I just thought it was such a cool vehicle. Probably from logistically and just getting it into the air and back again and everything it's way easier to do it the way they do it now, but also it was just really cool, you know? Okay, just me that thought the space shuttle was cool in chat then. No one else has chimed in. Oh well. Yeah, the new forums are just... I don't know. Let's go to them now. There's just so little there. It really just... It's so cut down, and you can remember we had the profession forums and class professionals, you know, and it was so well organised and everything else, you know. And there was so much great information on the old forums, and now it's just, yeah. I don't know, it's just not as good. Melee Energy Keeper. Dawn and Dusk of the Zan. Good weapons, those, to be honest. Really quick weapons as well. Also have sneak. Only a minute to go. What was that? Oh, that was Dark Ruins we did last night. Not last night, Monday night. Any second now for the prisoner. Yep. What level is the boss in the dungeon near New Inferno mission? What, in the cave? I'm not sure. Like 230, 240-ish? Go and have a look if you want. To figure out the way down there. It's the... I don't know the layout of the static. I know the one near Sorrow because it's so easy to get to. So I can run down that one every time, pretty much. Without too much thought. Yeah, the one at the bottom of this Sorrow dungeon, I'm sure it's the same NPC. Yeah, I'm not too sure. 220 plus, anyway. But a lot of HP, but not that hard to kill. You know, it doesn't have that much in the way of special attacks or debuffs or whatever. Eggs for team. Nothing I'm interested in, and nothing I'm interested in. There we go. Alright, okay, so there's another one done. What was the... Oh, right, okay. So I want to go... Meep. We'll go back to the Warden. And then we'll do... Rats. Another dead prisoner. Yeah, I'd say 230 to 240-ish Mathematica, if it's the same NPC that you get in the other statics at the very bottom. 245. I can manage it. If you're struggling, I'll get... What were you after? A plus 10 ring? Did you manage it okay? Did you get the ring you were after, or whatever it was? Farming XP. Oh, just roll whatchamacallit, just roll old Infernos. Yeah, you'll get XP faster, I think, just doing old Inferno missions. If you've got a high level to team up with. Bobalicious, welcome to the stream. Yeah, if you get the old, like, if you do a medium old on a 220 and just drag your Lobby along with them, yeah, they're definitely going to get a lot of XP. Feel the core of your being shift as the source makes room for a divine presence. Really? Virgins has reached enlightenment. They got that name? Okay. Questionable. Where'd you roll for the old ones? From inside your garden? If you're on the Redeemed Garden, it's the Forester. Just talk to them and say, we will do what we can against the unredeemed. And then they say, you know, what kind of a level do you want? And, you know, easy, medium, hard. Easy will give you greys. Medium will give you greens, yellows, and oranges, which is about the best one. And hards will be hards. Depending on your level, they'll be blood red, and a lot of them. But it's it's an instance mission, so you just take your time. You know, pull them out of rooms, kill them one by one. I'm getting another beer. Then we're doing rats. Yeah, in the clan gardens, the redeemed gardens, it's the forester that you talk to. You'll know because that as soon as you start talking to him, you know, a text window opens and they offer you the mission. And if you don't like the location it gives you in, you just delete the mission and ask for another one till you get a location you do want. Saved in Pan Garden. Go save in Inferno. That's what I do most of the time. ICC planet-wide announcement. Yeah. Skullogs me, the guy we were just teamed with, has reached the rank of outstanding dedication to the defense of Rubicon. So kill these before them that we picked up before we started the 15-minute timer. James on and off. Froob, oh right, James on and off Froob here. Don't know much of AO or Rubicar. Learn a lot while here today. Oh my god, you know, I've got I think 2,000 AO videos trying to explain everything. The game does not explain much to you in of itself. That was never part of the game design. Yes, it is. I tried to scroll back up to their ding, but unfortunately, the spam window is absolutely full of crap. Yep, it's gone. Never mind. Always is in this mission, but there you go. It's on the stream. You do olds if you're below 210. I don't think you need to be 210 at all. You can pull them before 210. I'm positive we did them earlier than that. I can't remember the exact level. I think AOU might have that slightly wrong. I'm not sure. You know. I'm sure I've rolled missions from the garden below that level. Yeah, you can roll them to Ergo or Cave are the two most popular from the clan garden. I just saw my Atrox Trader series. Oh, nice. Thanks for watching, dude. Hope it was helpful. But that's the way I do it. There's just too much to go over in tutorials that I don't make tutorials for the game. I make Let's Builds. Because I can cover more of the information needed just by playing the game. I do make tutorials, but most of the information is just in the Let's Build. 78. Ooh, bit of a low yield from the beach. And you grab both characters, not just the higher level one. Well, you roll the mission with the higher level character. That's the way most people would do it. Below 200, I'm pretty sure you can't roll missions from the garden, but you can on a higher level character, definitely. What did you say yours was? 168? I'm pretty sure you wouldn't be able to do it on them, but you can on your, you know, your higher level. So you do need to be in team together when you roll it if you want a team mission. Otherwise they don't get the share of the reward, just the kill XP. Yay, we got the 100. I killed 100 roller rats. Goodbye. Yeah, you pull on the highest level character and and the grammar changes from I will do what I can to stop the unredeemed to we will do what we can. Because it's, yeah, if you roll single missions, you get one floor. If you roll team missions, you get multiple floors. We hit the emergency exit, even though we were nowhere near it. You saw that. I was absolutely nowhere near the damn thing. Right, let's hand these in. Mission complete. And can I have my reward now? And then finally, mission complete. There's the doohickey we picked up. Goodbye. Right. Doja time. Yeah, what am I, 212, so I can roll solo missions on this character if I choose to. And it's this guy here you want to speak to. Essence Hunter, sorry. Can you talk to him? You come to draw that I have. If you're in team, it's that we have. I will do what I can to stop the unredeemed. And have your map open and then just go for the middle one. There you go, that's an ergo mission. Simple as that. And you just go and do the mission. But if you're in team, it's we, and the mobs will be slightly higher because it's a team mission. Chris, hi, love being back into AO. Yes, indeed. I've never really left. I've had a couple of breaks, you know, like after my son was born and stuff, because I just wasn't getting any sleep, and I was working a lot, so something had to give, and it was AO, unfortunately. But, you know, kids first, right? But yeah, you can do team missions from that same guy. Essence Hunter. I said Forrester, that was wrong. It's Essence Hunter they're called. Okay, nothing on the first dude. I had a 16-year break. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, once they were in full-time education, it was a bit less stressful. But when babies are new, they keep you up at night, and then they start settling. They no longer need feeding all the time. But then teeth come, and that wakes them up in the night, and yada, yada, yada. So, yeah, I just had to focus on... Oh, no, you went in the geometry. There you are. And you had a doja. You already have this? Do I? Apparently I do. I didn't know I had one. Doja chip, if anyone wants one. It's right here on an invisible mob near this first set of rocks over here. Okay. That was nuts. Yeah, he's 19 now, so yeah, he's, you know, technically an adult. In the UK, he can join the army, he can vote, he can drink, etc. So he certainly acts and talks like an adult. He's quite a bright lad, thankfully. Lesser experience boost? No, we want greater big experience boost. Premium experience boost. Thank you very much. And it does stack, apparently. Got 50 there and 10 there. I might do that mission I rolled. I'm going to use this beacon to get back. And then go to Job and hand in the doja that I forgot that I already had somehow. Did we... how have I got that? So... Oh, that was it. Was that when we came out to test that and one dropped right away? I can't remember now. Check in on Stella Barnes. No buff. Never mind. Yeah, we did a Inferno solo mission, and it was full of, you know, the spider type mobs, and they were just dropping light asides like they were going out of fashion. So I've got all 3 done now. So I've now got the plus 1500 perception buff, also mega heal, but yeah. Perception 1000, not 1500. My bad. Scholar Dalquist. I found an Inferno chip. Where'd you get the perception buff? By being clan and solicitous. But yeah, so if you're clan solicitous, that's your shadow breed, and you need lighter sides to upgrade it. And the mission I was in was dropping them like they were going out of fashion. So if you're in the vicinity or in team with this character, when they pop that, you'll get 1000 to perception. Which I might want to do and give myself a low light scope or something. But I think that's not perception based. That's the alien scope that's perception based, isn't it? But it can be shared, even if you're not the same faction, provided you're in team with the person. If you're not in team with them and they're not in the same faction as you, you don't get the perception buff. Okay, back to Shadowlands. If you're same faction and you're within whatever the radius is, then yeah, you're fine. So I'm going to go to the mission we've got, which is Ergo. That'll be full of yellows and greens and the odd orange. But it's single floor when you do a solo mission. It's multiple floor if you do team mission. And it's a lot of XP. I mean, you will cap research on every mission you do. It's not as much as a daily, but with all the mobs you kill, it probably does add up to approximately the same. Even solo. Yeah. We do a medium solo and pretty much, yeah, you'll get the same, like you will cap research on each mission completion, but you do need to be in the high 90s with these to get the mission reward. Let's run through the broken geometry that's been broken since release. It's never been fixed, that rock outcrop. Yep, and here you go, you just slowly chip away at the mobs. I mean, I've ended up with a mission full of mobs, and so you get quite a lot of faction in these missions as well. Obviously a good thing to start farming on your lobby. And the chests drop, you know, all kinds of crap. So it takes as long as it takes to kill all the mobs. But yeah, you've got to kill, like, whatever the percent. You know, like, way up in the 90s. I wouldn't even chance it at 91%. I'd be looking to get 97, 98% complete before killing the boss in order to make sure you get the reward. Because it can be a little, you know... But if you open a door or chest and get, you know, roller rats or similar, they start counting towards the percentage. So sometimes you can kind of game it a little bit. I got a percentage come up yet? I don't think I have. Yeah, it's not giving me a percentage yet. You know you're in a small mission when you kill the first mob and it goes 2%. And you go, oh yeah. Not many mobs, but we're getting the reward pretty damn quick. And the reason I like these over the new missions is you go at your own pace in these. So, you know, if you want to stop and get a drink, some food or whatever, you just stop fighting. Whereas in the new missions, you're on kind of a spawn timer that you're kind of locked into as soon as the mission starts. Which, it works, and if you're focused and whatever, then yeah, it's great, but, you know, if you had other plans for that evening, including making dinner or whatever, then, you know, olds are better in that respect. You know, you stop and start as you please, basically. Holy hell, been a while since I saw Storm. Yeah, still around. One of the oldest guilds in the game, if not the oldest, I think. It was a GM that started the guild because guild form didn't work. So he had to petition it, and the GM said, okay, org form. And we formed Storm. And he said, congratulations, you're the first org, and then went off and did 10 others or whatever they did. No, that's how it happened, because when the game launched, guilds were not a thing. They were, but it didn't work. You know, you're supposed to form a full team and go /org form, but apparently that didn't work, so we petitioned and the GM went, there you go. So yeah, I mean, let's face it, in the beginning of the game nothing bloody worked, you know, so it was one of the first MMOs ever made, so yeah, they had nothing to base what they were doing on, and they tried to do so many amazing things at the same time that game companies even now would be scared of trying, you know? The list of things that worked early AO is a short one. Yeah. Yeah, all kinds of stuff was kind of broken, but it's because they tried to fulfill so many design ideas and concepts that it was kind of amazing that it ran at all, you know. Nothing in this room. Let's check the chests. Garbage. I mean, those can be converted, but why bother? Oh, wait. Yay, Smelly Weaver. Get back here. Any idea how Kinkster is doing these days? I miss chatting with him. We lived on the same level of... LP, don't give a fuck. As far as I know, alive and well. Not heard from them in quite a long time, to be honest. I sent a graphics card all the way to Australia because I upgraded mine, and he said, oh, I wish I had your old one. And I said, well, where'd you live? I'll give it you. And I literally posted it to Australia. Which, I don't know. So yeah, I just paid, $3-4 of postage and just sent it to him. Yeah, it was a Radeon 128 or something, like we're going back quite, 20 plus years now. God knows what it'd be like trying to send something like that now. I mean, I just put the thing in a cardboard envelope, when graphics cards used to be about that deep, they were tiny, not even an inch deep. Yeah, them days. Right, I'm getting another beer. AFK killing. Yeah, I wouldn't call myself a bro of Kingston. I just like the guy, so just helped him out, Oh, synergy factor. Sheffy, yeah. Has he got his own Twitch emote? Oh, nice. God, yeah, I remember. I remember them days. He had a big impact on the game. Channel, oh my god, yeah. I remember I joined the Synergy Factor forums just because they were so funny. I remember that. I wasn't in Synergy Factor, but I joined their forums just to read all the shit posts and... Oh my god. Yeah, they were edgelords before it was a word. Yeah, they were. There was just no level of depravity they wouldn't stoop to in the name of a good laugh. You know, it was pretty awesome. I miss those days. It was like Rocky Horror Show on steroids, that, the forums at least. And I used to see them a lot, because they used to hang out on the wall in West Athens. And I was in a guild called 3305 Local, and we used to hang out on the buildings just across from the wall. So there was a lot of interaction, you know. That was before I joined Storm. Lived on the West Athens wall. Yep, you remember it. Yeah, Sheffy did a lot of work. He was sick and tired of the reused icons for stuff in the game, and did all the new rings and item icons and stuff off their own back. Did them all, which was kind of epic, really. And they became part of the game, and stuff in the game got named after him, so, you know. Rightly so. Guy did a lot. So is Sheffy on, like, Twitch in a big way now? Is that the guy? No. Twitch. Sheffy. Is this the Sheffy I remember? He works for Twitch. Oh my god, that's awesome. Sheffy, hi, my name is Ryan. I work for Twitch. Stalk me more. I love it. Oh wow, 10 years ago. Okay, but he works for Twitch themselves. That's pretty awesome. Oh, good for him, man. I don't know too many details given how toxic I was. He might avoid me. Oh, I don't know, dude. I don't know. You're welcome here as long as you don't stop being toxic or something. You know what I mean? Everyone deserves a chance to grow. Yeah. God, no, I have. I've lived and learned and changed over the years. Yeah, 20 years ago is a long time for a lot of people. I mean, yeah, some people just never damn well change. But most people do, I find. I find most people mellow over the years. Or they figure their shit out, you know? Because that's what it is. When you act out like that, there's usually an underlying cause you may be completely unaware of. But eventually you start figuring that crap out. And then, you know, you grow. Been a while. Hey, Excelsior, welcome to the stream. Just sleep during the day or watch more. Fair enough. Yeah, life's like that. I was an obnoxious, mouthy dickhead when I was a teenager. I'd figured a lot of my shit out by the time AO rolled round. I was in my early 30s, so, you know, I figured a lot of that crap out. But, yeah, I think back to when I was young. Oh, jeez. I wouldn't have liked me. You know what I mean? I'd have been, figure your shit out, dude. This is unhealthy. But there you go. And if you can live with the fact that you weren't born perfect, you know, it makes it easier to accept other people maybe are working through their shit as well, you know. I mean, some people I know never ever changed. They just held, they just, you know, their crap became who they were, and it, you know what I mean? They just, yeah, they were an arsehole back then, and they stayed one, you know. Some people just are that way. There's nothing you can do about it, you know. It comes from them, you know, not from you. But mostly, yeah, people mellow, they change, they work through their own crap, and yeah, they, you know, come and become better for it, you know, happier for it, you know. That's just life, man. The world is vastly too complicated for a species that essentially has evolved into hunter-gatherers in the space of a few, you know, 1,000 years, has become this multicultural melting pot that we're not designed to cope with, you know. Most of us have the emotional range to survive a community of like 100 to 150. We can form relationships and know those people. Beyond that, we're stretching what we're capable of as animals, let's say. So, yeah, that's where a lot of the problems start, is people just aren't equipped to deal with that. We weren't designed to live in a world with thousands of interactions with people we don't even know or have never met and probably never will meet in the circus of the online social media experience. So yeah, there's a lot of goofs, errors, crap that happens. Yeah, I mean, you've got to... It's like the Dune thing, isn't it? It's like, if you're into the Dune books, Paul Atreides, his pre-born sister, so she's born with the memories of all her ancestors going back thousands of years before she's developed her own personality, and is ultimately taken over, or, you know, becomes completely dominated by... Uh-oh, I can't cast my heel. That's not good. Becomes dominated by her grandfather, the Baron. Okay, that's in Children of Dune, I think. And Dune Messiah is the end of her tale. And I think we're all a little bit like that. You know, we go on... Like, I grew up with no internet and saw the birth of it, effectively. You know, so I knew who I was, what I liked, what I disliked, what my social grouping was, etc. You know, all these kind of constructs we live with. I knew where I was with all that before the internet. So when the internet came along, it was a bit easier to swallow because I'd already had a fully developed character, I suppose. Yeah, no, yeah. It's, I can remember the first cell phones, and I remember having one. It was like a house brick. It was like seriously, it was like, well, you can't see because there's no camera on YouTube, but it was kind of like this tool house brick size thing, you know. And it didn't work outside of a city anywhere, and yada yada. You know, it was nuts. I can remember them being a thing and becoming a bigger and bigger thing, yeah. Alcatel, yes! Yeah, Alcatel, one touch, easy. Blackjack, you could definitely knock someone out with it. And the Nokia 3310, that thing was indestructible. Oh, you know, now it's like, oh, I dropped my smartphone 20 centimeters to the ground, you know. Still is, rumour has it. Yeah, just remember someone made a case for the 3310. And then I saw this on social media, actually. So they posted a picture of the 3310 in this plastic bag, effectively. It's like a food bag for your sandwiches, is all the protection it offered. And they went, just remember someone invented, you know, a case to protect the 3310. And someone posted, no. That was to protect the ground. Yeah, whenever I fight coral rafters or any kind of rafters, I'm always thinking Swamp Thing, and you know it. Don't tell me whoever designed these wasn't a fan of the Swamp Thing comics, because I won't believe them. Yeah, it's totally Swamp Thing. They even did a fairly good adaptation on TV recently, and then it got canned. It just didn't get the views. And then, like, Dross, like, the Rings of Power and shit gets renewed. And I'm like, what? That show's a piece of shit. What the hell? Am I out of step? No, the fans are wrong. But yeah, no, you know, like, Rings of Power does nothing for me. I just think it's a terrible TV show. It just feels like fan fiction. You know, there's the great works of Tolkien, and they try and write stuff around it, and it's just feels disrespectful and dull. You know, it's just bad. Yeah, most of the monster design is fairly original, but some of it, now and again, I kind of go, wait, I've seen this before, you know, and it's whatever it is. Funcom dropped the ball on the mutant breed. Okay. Whenever a brilliant movie comes out and they make a sequel, they make the mistake by creating AI combat scenes, and it looks messed up. Yeah. I know what you're saying, but it was... the Ghost Army in Return of the King was CGI. But the way they used it was artistic and inventive. I think that's the difference. You've got to do more than, you know, just let the AI take care of it. Like with the new Dune movies, the cameras, even in scenes that aren't real, like Duncan Idaho flying an ornithopter here, there and everywhere, they put the camera work looks like it could have been done in real life. It doesn't look impossible camera work where you couldn't get a film crew there. You can't do that. You know, so instead of being a Michael Bay moment, it felt very rooted in reality, and that's why the film works, I think. No, I just think the Rings of Power is just crap. It's the mistake that studios keep seeming to make and don't learn from, which is, no, your series writers don't have the talent and ability of the creator of the IP. In the case of Rings of Power, no, you're absolutely not Tolkien, and trying to second guess everything Tolkien did just makes you look like an idiot. Please stop. You know. Have you ever heard of the Star Wars Holiday Special? I've got it on VHS. Yeah. The holiday special is a good description for a lot of TV shows these days based on classic IPs. Right, we're sneaking past this guy. No, we're not. He's seen me. Let's aggro you. See if I can get you out of the room and then find somewhere to hidey hole. Because we're not at high enough percent. Can land on the blue thing, we're okay. There we go. Alright. Alright, you should reset. Off you go. Goodbye. Yeah, off-ground tip with the mobs to reset them. I was never that into Star Wars and the Disney Star Wars. Yeah. The Disney Star Wars is just dog shit. It just really is. It's just some of the worst crap you'll ever see in your life. The only good stuff they've made is the Mandalorian Season 1 and 2, Rogue One movie, and Andor. All of those are good. Everything else, dog shit. Sorry, that's the way I feel about it. I can pick so many holes in the new stuff up to 45 minutes into the second movie. Because after that, I walked out of the theatre and I have never watched anything to do with it ever since. I just thought it was complete garbage. And they came along and they were like, let's betray all the original characters that the fan base love. Let's rewrite them completely differently. Let's shit over their legacy and expect the fans to lap it up. And they didn't. It died a death. It made so little money that 4 other films were cancelled and became TV shows on vastly lower budgets. And somehow that Kathleen Kennedy has a job, which beggars belief, to be honest. Yeah, it's the Star Wars. The Rings of Power is to Star Wars original trilogy what the holiday special was. It's awful. And they should be ashamed of it. They really should. It's like they did the same thing with the Witcher, of all things. I mean, there you go. You got this amazing IP that CD Projekt Red made fantastic games out of. Or admittedly, the first one's a bit jank. That's beloved by people that played the games and read the books and everything else. And then they did one season that was pretty good, and then tried to rewrite everything about the IP to fit whatever bullshit they wanted to talk about, and it fell flat on its face to the point where the star of the show, Geralt, who is the protagonist from which the story is told, even though he's not a major player in the events that unfurled, that's the point of the books, said, okay, I'm done. You know, there's no way I'm watching Chris Hemsworth's younger brother try and be Geralt. I can't. It's just like a joke at this point. I feel bad for the guy. His brother's so successful, and he's going to try and fill this role, and he's just going to get shit on. And it's not his fault. He just took a job. He's like, wow, I got a big role, you know. I'm an actor too. And it's like, you shouldn't have took that job, man. Yeah, like Game of Thrones, it was great up until season 6 because it was the books. 7 and 8, oh my god, what the hell is this crap? You know, where they try and second guess the original author's works and totally change everybody's character. It's like your audience aren't going to have it. They're just not. They're just going to go, what the fluff is this crap? Anyway, I'm going to go back to grinding. Currently leveling a little keeper, since baby's first class is perfect for me. It is really good for it starting out. It's also a very solid class. The Game of Thrones writer explained what it was, and their problem is that the show creators want to use the name of a popular... Yeah, exactly. And it's like the... I can use someone else's clout to promote my own shit, and that's fan fiction. That's just fan fiction. That's not good writing. That, and evident, you know, case in point. 100%, right, we can kill the boss. And case in point, seasons 7 and 8 of of Game of Thrones were terrible. It was just like, and the original author just went, nope, that's not how it ends. Like literally just went, yeah, no, thanks for the money, but no, this is not. But they refuse to write anymore, or just haven't done, or whatever. So yeah, it's kind of weird, but yeah. Yeah, I've got the original box set of Star Wars, but it's a 5 VHS collection because it's got like a tape that is making of, and another tape which is the Christmas special and a bunch of other crap. The Christmas special is just, when we still had a VHS, we'd watch it just for the lols, you know, just to laugh at how bad it was. Which is kind of bad, I know, but yeah, there you go. Yeah, just these, you know, TV writers that aren't successful authors trying to second guess a successful solo author who creates a massive body of work and characters, and they think somehow if they write within that framework, they somehow become that, and it's like, no, you don't. If you don't respect the original material, you lose the audience. My prediction is Witcher Season 3 will die on its arse after 2 episodes, unless miraculously the writing is perfect and the recasting works, which I don't think it's going to. I'm not going to watch it. Just no, because they're trying to change what the world and framework of it is. I mean, they did that standalone thing, Birth of the Witcher or something, some shit. I don't know. It was just the biggest load of bollocks I've ever seen. I watched it hoping, you know, they were going to do something interesting, and they didn't. It was awful. I'm not saying I could do better, because I'm no kind of writer, but I'm intelligent enough to go, I can see a problem. Perhaps not intelligent enough to go, I know a solution, but I can tell garbage when it's served up to me, and I take offense at it. So, yeah. Have you seen Conan the Barbarian? What, the Arnie movie? Yeah, I love it. It's total popcorn, corny movie, but it's great. I love it. It's fun. It's fun to watch. Whether it reflects the original material, I don't know. And I don't care, because all I know of it is that Arnold movie. I've seen the remakes, and yeah, they're okay. But the original with Arnie was of its time and was great, you know. Are they Arthur Conan Doyle or whatever his name was original idea? I don't know. Never read his books. But, I don't care. I was entertained by the Arnold film. He did a second one, which wasn't as good, but, Hollywood and sequels. And then, wasn't there a third one called Red Sonja? And they put this bony-armed girl in it. Oh, I can't think. I think she was married to Sylvester Stallone at the time or something. She was a very tall, blonde woman who just looked completely impossible in the role. Like, how can you even pick that sword up if it's actually made of metal? Let alone swing it in any meaningful way. It was just ridiculous. Yeah, I guess, having Stallone as your husband helps in Hollywood or something. I don't know. Anyway, I think we've reached the end of the road for this stream. Yes, indeed. Let's have a look. Anyone else streaming Anarchy online? Typically, no. It's just bloody me every time. Let's have a look. Me and Rubicar live feed again. Oh, dear. Never mind. I'll just leave it there. I'm not going to bother raiding. There's not that many of us on a Wednesday, so it is what it is. I'll be back maybe on Friday. I'm not sure yet because unfortunately Mrs. Callos 2 is working. Yeah, you can see there I capped research from the mission reward. You can see it there. But the XP is much less than you would get from a daily, but I still got a lot there. I mean, pretty close. We did another one we would level. So, Raise Dan, thank you for the good stream. Well, thank you for coming along. It's always fun. I know it's not very long. I apologise. I've got to get up and do work tomorrow and yada yada yada. So is what it is. Right. So thank you all. I'll be back either Friday or Saturday, and I will see you for those. It will be more Anarchy online because it always is. And yada, yada, yada. Okay, until then, bye for now, even. Okay, folks. See you in the next one.